This is Patricia Huddle, and I'm going to go over publishing your Flash file. So this assumes that your Flash file is completed and everything's working the way that you need it to. I have my file here. I just made a small change to it. I'm going to do a test movie to make sure that it does work, and clicking through the screens to make sure that there hasn't been anything that happened to it since the last time. And I probably should go back and click through every combination of things, and I have been. Everything works well, so I'm satisfied that this is good. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to save it as, in this case I'm saving mine as version 3. If you're saving it for a client or for a class, whatever, you should be saving it to whatever is the proper naming convention at this point for publishing, because the name that you're giving it now is the name that's going to be part of the URL. It's the name that's going to be given to both the HTML and the SWF file that is going to be shown in the HTML file. So for publishing, I'm going to go to my publish settings and look at everything that is out here. I'm using the latest version of the Flash player, which is fine. ActionScript 3 version, it says it's going to output a SWF, and that's what I have checked over here. Any images will be reduced using the 80% JPEG quality. You can change that if you want. This is also where you would change any of the settings for the audio. I don't have any audio, so I'm not worried about that. Under the advanced settings, now if you're not seeing the advanced settings, you might just be seeing this. Click on the arrow to open this up, and there are a couple of important things in here. The first one, as far as compressing the movie, the deflate is fine for these purposes. When you get into publishing something professionally, you would want to test out each of the options that are in here to make sure of which one works best for you. Include hidden layers. We didn't do any hiding of layers, but that's something that if you click on the eyeball, it hides a layer. The assumption is if you're hiding it, you might just be hiding it temporarily, so this is a decision that you have to make. If you don't have any hidden layers, you don't have to worry about it. It can be checked or unchecked if you don't have any. The rest of the items that are out here are really for if you are publishing something and you're testing. Generating a size report tells you how many kilobytes are being loaded per frame. Trace statements are used when you're doing substantial programming and you would want to omit them because they slow down the running of your movie. And permit debugging. Again, if you are doing something very complicated in your testing and or in your programming, and you want to try to work with the programming while it's running, that's what the debugging does for you. And then protect from import. If you are concerned that somebody might offload your SWF and put it into their movie or try to break it down, you can use the protect from import. If you do that, make sure that you use an actual password, not just a blank screen there, and make sure that you note the password somewhere, because if you come back 6 months later and you can't remember, you are locked out of that file as well. The detailed telemetry is more appropriate for apps, and these other items down here, we're not going to worry about them for right now. Take a look at the HTML. This is going to automatically generate the HTML that you would use to publish the file. This is definitely easier than using Dreamweaver to create your HTML, because this is perfect. This is exactly what you need it to be. And if you want to make changes to the HTML once you have it published, by all means do that. I don't really care for the alignment, but all of the object embed tag kind of things, they're all exactly the way you need them. So it's asking me as far as what do I want the name of the output file to be. This is truly the last chance that you have to make a change to the file name. So if you're going to change it, if you didn't change it before, change it now and everything will be fine. As far as the template type, Flash only is fine. If you were doing anything with SCORM tracking or using Flash scripting, Java scripting, which is not the same as the JavaScript that's in this program, or you're using Flash with named anchors, meaning that you are using labels that are actually anchor tags, that's the one you would choose for that. Now, everything else that's in here, you should pretty much go with this default settings. I highly recommend not checking the detect flash because it tries to do an exact match and that limits the opportunities for the movie to run. Match the movie size means that it will be the exact size. However, if you made something too large or too small, you can actually change the percentage to 50%, to make it smaller, or 150% if you wanted to make it larger in the browser. And you can go with actual pixel shapes. Everything that's happening in here is because it's generating the HTML and it's generating all the specifications for your image tag. So this issue of the size and the characteristics of the movie and the image quality, that's what all these things are here for. And for the purposes of the prototyping, you are fine with just using the default settings. I'm going to click Publish, and I'm done. It's really that fast. If I say OK, it's going to save all my settings. And it saved my file out to my desktop. And my desktop's a little messy because I've been doing a lot of publishing here. But you can see that here's my prototype version 3 FLA, here's my prototype 3 HTML, and here's the prototype 3 SWF. And you see that there's another SWF out here. This was from my previous test movie. Every time that you do a test movie, a SWF is generated. But if I'm going to upload this to my web space, I need to have both the HTML and the SWF for it to work. And both of those files need to be in the same directory. You cannot put them in separate directories.